today's vlog, we're going to talk about detachment, and we are going to relate it to the law of one tarot. So here we go. So the reason detachment is so important, because it's the number one thing that gets in the way for people to attract what they really want and need. Detachment is required because in the law of attraction, in this mental universe, if we want to attract something, we need to firstly know exactly what it is that we want. Need to be very, very clear. We need to put it into our matrix, into this little sphere that the magician is holding. And this sphere needs to really be like willed. You need to want what you want without any desire. And you need to feel, number two, so you know what you want. Number two is you need to feel like you already have it. How can you really feel like you already have it if the beliefs, here's the potentiator, let's say the potentiator is the subconscious mind. So you've got the high priestess, which is the mind complex, the body complex is the hermit, and the spirit complex is the tower card. So if you've got all three of these that are holding your beliefs, so your belief in your soul or your mind complex is that there's a black and white, and whatever is in the middle right now, this gray area where she's sitting, are all of the beliefs that have been programmed into you via childhood. Okay, so this is the soul, the mind complex. This is the energy that the belief holds within you, and you may not even know it. How? Because of the body complex. The body complex, I believe the subconscious mind is all the liquid and the fluid in your body. So if that's the subconscious mind, now in the body you're doubled down. The water records information. Water records information. Now, if this information was recorded to you the minute you were a cell in your mother's womb, you not only have the information that your spirit complex, because the potentiator is also your friend. The subconscious mind is also one of your best friends once you start to know how to utilize it properly, because the subconscious mind is the one that holds your spirit complexes here, the tower card. It holds your blueprint. All three of these archetypes, the high priestess, the hermit, the tower card. See this lightning bolt? I always say light is information. This subconscious mind, which is the water, I don't know, let's say it is, I believe it is, in your body connects and works with the moon, connects and works with all the water on the earth. Therefore, what's happening is when you're a cell, water mainly, and then you divide into a Vesica Pisces in your mother's womb, you not only come down with your own blueprint, but now you're taking on your mother's blueprint as well, because what is the womb made out of? Fluid. It's fluid. It's her fluid, which holds her information, which holds her fears. So now you've doubled down. That's why this body complex, this hermit right here, look how overly cloaked he is. He has a DNA strand here. This DNA isn't just the blueprint your spirit complex wanted to come in. You are now being challenged with this DNA of your mother's womb and her energy, her soul energy, mind, and what she's thinking, her thoughts, are being imprinted through the womb into you. And the other side of the strand is your father's chromosomes. So now let's say not only have you doubled down, you've tripled down. You've got your own blueprint that the subconscious mind wants to work with. You've got your mother's emotions imprinted through her soul, her energy, into here. And you've got a chromosome of your father's DNA. So the spirit complex comes in as the tower card, with what it wants to experience in this lifetime. This lightning bolt, the spirit complex, comes in. There's the mother, there's the father, are falling off of the pyramid here. And I've never seen this card this way. I don't even know why I'm saying that. But now it's your turn to come in with and utilize this information that you're coming in with. So if this is the potentiator and the subconscious mind is 90%, it's going to hold a lot of beliefs that you are not aware of. So how do you get rid of those beliefs that are keeping you bogged down and are creating space? Because the catalyst, if the catalyst is your organs and it's your unconscious mind, this is also space. The catalyst 3D is space, the experience 4D is time. So how the heck do you begin to detach from those beliefs? So there's a common misconception out there that detachment means that you have to do a lot of work. Detachment, all detachment is coming back to neutrality. And remember, in past vlogs, I've said that the body complex, if you look at the mind complex, now I'm going to break it down into proton, electron, and neutron. You have a proton, so this energy, this brain that creates thought, right here, your mind complex, or let's say your soul, is energy. The spirit complex is vibration. The soul holds it all together. The spirit complex is the one that's here for the experience. That's you, that's your snowflake. We're all us spirit complexes are snowflakes, and we have totally different experiences that we want to have in this lifetime so we can get to here 7D, the great way, the world card. And the world card is when we're expressing what our spirit complex has come in here into this matrix of the 3D with the subconscious mind. The world complex is when the world card is when the spirit complex gets out of these shackles through manifestation and begins to experience its true purpose of what within the programming of this snowflake, within the sacred geometry of its individual snowflake, it came down to actually experience and live as above, so below, as within, so without. And when I say as within, so without, you're seeing the front of me, and a lot of people manifest. So the outside this way, when they're manifesting their chakras, through their chakras, they expand this way, but they forget about expanding through the back. Your chakra, if it's a wheel, if your organ's creating energy and there's a spin to it, then the spin needs to also work from the back. But because we move forward, and Dr. Robert Gilbert talks about this, because we move forward, our expansion, we have an expansion from the front, but we actually have an indentation in the back. So when you're working with your spirit complex vibration through the soul, the mind, energy, you want to make sure, if you're working with all the organs, and the organs create your chakras, you want to make sure that when you are so within, you're so without. 3D is depth. 3D is simply three things that we have here. We have height, we have width, and we have depth. From the front to the back. So therefore, when you are working with energy and you are working with vibration in order to create a frequency, you need to make sure you expand your energy to the back too. The spine's in the back. Very important. Kundalini goes up the spine. So, in order for this energy, the mind complex or the soul, the spirit complex, the vibration, to do anything, to start a movement, it needs frequency. So, if the mind complex, the soul, is the proton, and the spirit complex is the electron, the negative charge, then what's happening is, if you follow my arrow, the frequency that's created within you is coming, let's say, from the chakras, from your organs, because your chakras are nothing without organs. The organs create hormones which create the energy and the vibration that is going to then create the frequency. And the frequency is emitted through the toroidal field out. It's light right away. So your frequency, once you are in the frequency that you're in, you've already utilized you've already utilized 3D space and 4D time. It's utilized already. So therefore, the frequency now is being engaged with the significator. The frequency is the time lapse between the waves that you've created in the vibration, in the spirit complex. So if you follow this, so let's say this is all the frequency. Here's the proton, the positive charge, the negative charge, the positive charge, the negative charge, the positive charge, the negative charge. Depending on the frequency that is felt by the significator 5D, where there is no space-time now, there is no space-time here, you are going to be reflected back that frequency like this. There's no space-time in 5D. So the frequency that is emitted through the hormones and the emotions, which create the vibrations, which then create the frequency, you will get back through light. The light within the toroidal field is recognized by the light outside, sun, moon, stars. It's like a hologram. There's no more time space now. Time space is for this heavy body. Time is here for you to begin to observe. Imagine timelines. Time is here, 4D. When you start coming from this experience or love and understanding, you begin to see and observe your timelines. Time is a tool. 4D is a tool for you to utilize. Once this is in 5D, once you're in 5D, see the sun card here? See that sun? See that light? You're going to get back. See this bottom circle, the sphere? See the sphere of the magician here that we talked about? You are going to get automatically, like a hologram, back whatever it is that you are vibing, your energy, and which is then creating the frequency. This frequency is felt here, the sun card, and given back to you exactly the way, not exactly actually, it's felt through the sun, and it's given back to you in the form of frequency, and you will see it in your external world in like things happening that you don't want, disasters, or even little things that just put a damper on your day kind of deal. Okay, I didn't mean to go through all that, but this happens when I'm like teaching the Law of One or going through the Law of One tarot for some reason. So detachment. Let's get to detachment. The only way, if you have a low frequency, and let's say a low frequency means playing victim. Okay, low frequency is going to mean that all of the beliefs, your emotions are ruling you and controlling you, and you really don't have any skills to observe your own thoughts. The same story in your mind is going through over and over and over, and this story is not even created by your conscious mind. Often it's created by your subconscious mind. And you believe this perception is real, and your perception is the only real perception. If you're in this, it's going to be very difficult to increase your frequency. So to increase frequency, firstly, you need to come and you need to look at this experience, 4D time. And you need to kind of start observing. And this significator is observation. This significator is 5 density, where there's eyes now. There are eyes on the timeline, there's eyes on the catalyst, and there's eyes on the potentiator, which then starts changing around the matrix in a way where it's not constantly creating these downfalls. So once you have eyes on what is going on and you start to realize that, is this mind complex really mine? What is this? Then you might learn what the ego is. Then you might learn how to start working with the ego. And this is where the beauty starts, okay? And this may start, like, tools to use are visualization, affirmations. But often what begins to happen, and why manifestation takes such a long time for people, is because in order to visualize something or affirm something or start scripting, we have to detach. The final stage of manifestation is right here. You have to actually detach from what it is that you want. And here, I'm going to tell, like, the thing is, we seem to think that we have to do something in order to detach. So for me, for example, for the longest time, I used to think, oh my God, I used to catch my thoughts that were negative, and I would be like, you know what? No, that's not my thought. I take that out of the law. I still say I take it out of the law because sometimes I have really ugly thoughts. And I'll just say something like, that's not my thought. I detach. But do you sense, even when I'm doing that, there's like a sense of like fear in that a little bit? And I did that for years and years until I began to realize, like, hold on. And this realization came when I became friends with my ego. When I started utilizing my ego, or consciously programming my ego with this love and understanding, with 4D. I started working with the moon card, and I started trying to balance the ego out, even though it's very heavily observed now. My ego is, through this significator, very heavily observed. And the archetypes I use to observe it in the mind is the Hierophant. So in the mind, these are my guides. I use this Hierophant archetype, and they represent my guides. And to be honest with you, my guides are people like Kuan Yin, Lakshmi Devi, Ma Kali. Those are my guides. But also, I know that that is me. Those are realities and parts of me and who I am. So even when in my vision these guides come through as this Hierophant archetype, I know they are divine. Do you see those wings right here? Do you see the wings? I know they are divine, but then I also look at them and they are me. They are me. So the soul, all is one. The energy that comes through as the Hierophant are guides for me. And sometimes it could be a grandma, a father, a husband, but these are the guides, the Hierophant. Secondly, the significator, the body complex. This is so the most important. The third thing that you absolutely need to manifest is you need to hang. The hanged man is when you completely detach and you surrender. You know what you detach and surrender in? Look what is around his two poles. Do you see that? Those are grapes. That is abundance. This is when you realize that this spirit complex came from the sun. This spirit complex is a snowflake. This spirit complex has all of this abundance inside it already. And look how far you've come. Once you've been able to detach, let it go. And we're going to talk, I'm not done about detachment. I have a great little thing I want to tell you. Once you're here at the let go card, the detachment, and see, he's anchored here by the spirit complex now. Absolute abundance that's always been inside of us. Look how different this is from the subconscious mind here, from the soul here, the potentiator here. Two poles. There's nothing holding it up, right? There's two poles though. One's white and one is black. Here, the color's the same. In fact, the colors have dissolved and you're in neutrality state, in complete abundance. As above, you see his foot is even creating a cross there. So below, with his hands to earth, thanking the earth, Gaia, for the experience here, because you have come to realize your true essence, your snowflake, your spirit complex. And you become one with it for a little while, which creates growth. Now, going back to detachment. So this is the major card of detachment. And detachment is so wonderful because it gives you death of old thoughts, death of old energy, and it brings you to the alchemist, the great way, the I guess it's called the temperance. I call it the alchemist. So, one tip. I hope people have been watching this, because this is the biggest tip. Is the body complex. All of this. Remember, I said if this is a proton, down here, the spirit complex is a electron. What's the neutron? The body complex, the middle grade here. The body complex is the neutron, and the body complex is the middle. So what does that mean? That means when you want to experience detachment and you're here and you're feeling like neutrality, you're detached already. You don't have to work for detachment whatsoever. That's a fallacy. You do not have to work to detach at anything. When you feel detached, your body complex, the organs within your endocrine system, your nodes in your body accept that. We have 144 nodes, I believe. Those nodes accept that detachment right away. There is nothing that you have to do to detach from anything when you are in a state of neutrality. And when I say state, I mean frequency. And what that means is that your body and your organs, when you let it go, are now just doing what you came down here for. They're just connecting with the light, with consciousness, without any mind. So the energy of the spirit or of the soul, the mind complex, is able to flow through. And for me, I do it through like guides, my guides, which is also me. Whenever I visualize them, I know I'm in a neutrality state, and I'm like, yes, these organs are accepting all of this goodness from this right here, all of it. And the hangman is absolute neutrality. It's detachment, so that you can give death to your old attachments, and we have many, so that you can truly live as above, so below, as within, so without. So you need to do no work to detach. Once you feel neutral and you just feel like it's done, and then let it go, that's it. Your detachment work is done. Love you guys.